Good morning, students. Today we'll discuss some basics of composition of blood and its functions. First, we'll start with the introduction. As you know, blood study or study of blood is also known as hematology. Actually, blood is a fluid connective tissue which has been derived from mesoderm. The appearance of blood is red in color with slightly alkaline pH, about 7.6 pH. The blood is denser than that of water, that's why it is heavier. And an adult person carries about 5 liters of the blood, which is about 8% of the total body weight. So today we are going to see that what are the compositions of the blood, how many cells are there, and how these cells are being classified with their respective functions. So as you can see in this picture, if you are going to see that this is a test tube, in this test tube the blood is been collected and allowed to stand for some time. When you see that after some time there will be three different layers being formed. The topmost layer, which is slightly yellowish or straw colored, which is mainly the fluidic part, which has been termed as plasma. The middle layer, which is slightly off-white in color, which is composed of leukocytes and thrombocytes, and the most bottom layer is having red color or reddish pink color, which is because of the erythrocytes. Now you will see in detail how many cells are there, what are the different compositions of blood. Blood can be divided as cellular composition and non-cellular composition. Cellular composition are those which means it consists of all the cells which are present in blood, and the non-cellular composition, that part of the blood which is devoid of cells. In cellular composition, it consists of blood corpuscles, and in non-cellular composition it consists of plasma. Now blood corpuscles can be again divided into RBCs, WBCs and platelets, which are red blood corpuscles, white blood corpuscles and platelets. Among these three, WBCs are been again classified as granulocytes and agranulocytes based on the property of WBC having granules in the cells, classified as granulocyte, and those WBCs which does not have granules in it, known as agranulocytes. Now these granulocytes can be divided as neutrophil, eosinophil and basophils based on their property to get stained by different types of stains. In similar fashion, agranulocytes can also be divided as monocyte and lymphocytes. Now the first one, that is erythrocytes, or also been termed as RBCs, that is red blood corpuscles. Erythrocytes are circular, biconcave and enucleated cells. Now the term enucleated here denotes that these cells does not have nucleus in them, but it is not completely true, it is partially true, because the immature RBCs in their young stage, they do have nucleus, but as they get matures, their nucleus is get degraded. So the size of the cell, that is RBC, is about 7 micron in diameter and about 2.5 micron in thickness. So the small size of RBCs allows these cells to get transported through small veins and capillaries throughout the body. there are about 5.1 to 5.8 million RBCs per cubic mm in an adult male, whereas in adult female it is about 4.3 to 5.2 million. Now, these RBCs are not going to live forever in our body. They have certain lifespan. The lifespan of these RBCs is about 120 days, and after 120 days they get degraded and get eliminated out of the body through spleen or liver, and new cells are being produced in the bone marrow. In the bone marrow is the part inside the bone which consists of certain fatty tissues responsible for production of RBCs, known as the process known as hematopoiesis. Now we'll see these red blood cells, why they are called as red blood cells, because obviously they are red in color, but how that red color is been given or attained by that cell. The cell will attain the red color because of a protein molecule known as hemoglobin. This hemoglobin consists of a heme group, a iron group present in there. When it is been attached with oxygen, because the function of red blood cell is to transport or to carry oxygen throughout the body, so they carry the oxygen, and when they attached with oxygen, the hemoglobin molecule appears red in color. That is how these RBCs will show red appearance. Here we can see these RBCs are biconcave in shape. The central part is mainly made up of hemoglobin molecule, where there is a oxygen is getting attached to this heme group, and here you can see this part of this cell or the protein appears slightly red. When it is been attached with oxygen in lungs, it is known as oxygenated blood, and when that oxygen is been removed in our respiration system and the heme group does not have oxygen there, then that particular heme group does not show you the characteristic red color. Now we'll see the more cells in the blood. As we have discussed earlier, WBCs, that is white blood corpuscles, been classified as granulocytes and agranulocytes. Neutrophil, eosinophil and basophil are the types of granulocytes, whereas monocyte and lymphocytes are the types of agranulocytes. Here you can see in these images also, if you look carefully, these neutrophils will have this particular part of neutrophil, certain granular things are there. These are the granules present in these cells, in neutrophil, eosinophil and basophils. Whereas in this condition, in monocytes and in lymphocytes, no such granules are there. So this is why this particular WBC has been classified as granulocytes and agranulocytes. Now we will see one by one all of these cells. First, that is leukocytes or WBCs. As I told you, they are known as white blood cells. Leukocytes, because leuko means white or colorless. That's why it has been named as white blood corpuscles. They are colorless. They differ from that of the RBC in one particular characteristic feature, that is presence of nucleus. WBCs are nucleated, whereas RBCs does not have the nucleus in them. They are amoeboid and they are phagocytic cells. We'll see what are these phagocytic cells. Amoeboid means they show amoeboidal movement. They squeeze out the blood capillaries. This is known as diapedesis. The size of this leukocyte or WBC ranges from 8 to 15 micrometer, and their concentration varies from 5000 to 9000 WBCs per cubic mm. The average lifespan of these WBCs is 3 to 4 days. Now, the presence of granules, they can be divided as granulocytes and agranulocytes. The neutrophil, eosinophil and basophils. Neutrophil, these cytoplasmic granules are stained with neutral dyes. The stain that we are going to use, and if the cell is going to get stained with a neutral dye, then such type of cells been termed as neutrophils. The nucleus in these neutrophils is about 3 to 5 lobed, and that's why it is been named as polymorphonuclear. Here we can see these neutrophils are having polymorphic nuclei, multi-lobed nucleus. It constitutes about 54 to 62% of the total WBCs, means their concentration or their proportion is more as compared to other two granulocytes in the WBCs. They functions as phagocytic cells, which means they engulf microorganism during body's immune response. Second granulocyte is of eosinophil. These eosinophils, they have cytoplasmic granules which get stained with acidic dyes, for example eosine. Eosine is a kind of a stain, it is an acidic stain. So when these cells get stained with eosine, they are termed as eosinophils. The nucleus in this case is bilobed. It constitutes about 3% of the total WBCs. Eosinophils have multifunctions. They are non-phagocytic, means they don't engulf the microorganisms or bacteria or any other antigen, but they increase during allergic reactions. They show antihistamine property, and they increase in number of eosinophils is a kind of disorder known as eosinophilia. The third granulocyte, that is basophil. These cytoplasmic granules get stained with basic stains or basic dyes, for example methylene blue. They do have a nucleus, but it is a twisted kind of a nucleus. They constitute about 0.5% of the total WBCs. They are also non-phagocytic. They release certain anticoagulants, for example heparin and sometimes histamine also. Next type we will see agranulocyte, that being classified as lymphocyte and monocyte. They don't have any granules in them, cytoplasmic granules in them. So these lymphocytes are the large round nucleated cells. They do have a nucleus which is a large in size. The lymphocyte constitute about 25 to 33% of the total WBCs. So after neutrophil, lymphocyte is the next WBC which comprises more number in the whole WBC. It functions as that they produce antibodies and responsible for the immune response of the body. The antibody mediated response in our body is mainly carried out by these lymphocytes to combat against any specific antigen. Then there are monocytes. These monocytes are largest of all the WBCs with kidney-shaped nucleus. The nucleus of this cell appears bean-shaped or kidney-shaped. It constitutes about 3 to 9% of the total WBCs. The function of this monocyte is they are phagocytic in function. So they engulf the bacteria or any other microorganism or antigen. That's why they known as scavengers also. So they scavenge on the antigen. Next is of platelets. The platelets are small fragments of bone marrow cells, and that's why they are not really been classified as cells themselves, though they are the part of the blood. Functions: they secrete vasoconstriction, means the platelets are responsible for constriction of vessels or veins or capillaries during any wound condition, and that's why because of certain function of vasoconstriction they form temporary platelet plug to stop bleeding at a particular wound. They also secretes procoagulants to promote blood clotting. They also have different other functions like digest and destroy bacteria, and they secrete certain chemicals to attract neutrophil and monocytes to the site of inflammation of the body. They also secrete different growth factors to maintain the lining of blood vessels. Non-cellular composition, that is plasma, which is a fluidic part of the blood. The plasma is a straw-colored, slightly alkaline, viscous type of a fluid. It contains 90 to 92% of the water and 10% of the solutes and 7% of the protein. The plasma proteins comprised of albumins, that is known as serum albumin, serum globulin, heparin, fibrinogen, prothrombin as a co-coagulating factor in the inactive form. There are other nutrients such as glucose, amino acids and glycerols are also present in the plasma. Nitrogenous waste as urea, uric acid and ammonia, creatinine, all these nitrogenous waste is also being found in this particular fluidic part. Then there are dissolved gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen. Some regulatory substances such as enzymes, cofactors and hormones been also observed in this plasma. Then there are inorganic substances like bicarbonates, chlorides, phosphates, sulfates, sodium, potassium, calcium and magnesium ions, which are mainly responsible for activation of certain enzymes or cofactors. So how this plasma look like? Earlier we have seen one test tube of blood. This is the similar kind of test tube where you will see this straw colored part is known as plasma. So today we have learned about some composition of blood cells and their function. So at the end, the small part remaining is of functions of blood. As we know, the major function of blood in our body is of transportation of oxygen, mainly involved in respiration. Then it is also involved in transportation of nutrient which has been absorbed through the gastrointestinal tract, and transportation of hormones from endocrine glands secreted by the endocrine glands. Also the transportation of metabolic waste. So this is the important function of transportation performed by blood in our body. Similarly, one more function is there, that is of regulation. It regulates regulates the pH of our body. It adjusts and maintains body temperature. It also maintains water content of the cells, so that there should be the balance between our osmotic pressure. Then there is one important function, very important function of this blood, rather blood cells, that is WBCs, which is of protection. The WBCs protects against diseases by phagocytosis. They are also reservoir for different substances like water, electrolytes, and they also perform hemostasis, which is the maintenance of body temperature and function in the body.